Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course, and as you can see from the title of this video, I want to talk about Jennifer Lopez for a few minutes because it is not looking good, okay? She would probably say she hasn't had one of her best years in 2024 for a few reasons, including this situation with Diddy. Add to the mix her very first husband, the restaurateur Ojani Noa. He has spoken out. And oh my gosh, the stuff he is saying, y'all. And we're going to go over to his Instagram. We are going to read an article as part of an interview that he did with a Latino publication. And I cannot believe the things that came out of his mouth and the pictures that he got to go with. And one of my beloved favorite singers is in these photos, y'all. We're gonna talk about it all, okay? Now, before we do, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video. Then YouTube will recommend this video to more people who love catching up and being caught up on all of the Diddy coverage. It is very wide and broad, okay? And please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit if you have not already done so. I would love to have you as one of the showstoppers. And everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. And the Copyright Act of 1976 says that by fair use commentary on the TikTok video and the Instagram post, it is all allowed. Okay. So we're going to start off with the Shyne documentary because that is just one video. It's a very good promo vid. And we're going to talk about the rapper Shyne and everything that he has endured, since the club shooting from the early 2000s. I was in college at Michigan State watching the coverage from my dorm room, honey. Everything was purple. I had purple carpet, a purple trunk for like my coffee table, and a purple comforter, purple dishes, you name it. Watching everything Diddy and J.Lo and the club Pow Pow, is what I should have said instead of SHOOTING. This documentary of Shyne's will air on Hulu, so I will definitely be checking it out. I may make a video on it, of course. I want to show you all the promotional video for it. And he talks about being set up. And I want to give my thoughts on just the memories of that time. They're going to show, J.Lo once she was apprehended. And I want to get into all of that. So I don't want you all to experience an echo. So I'm going to go ahead and mute my mic and play this video. Here we go.
Everybody that heard me wanted to sign me. I would ride my bicycle up the Brooklyn Bridge, and by the time I got down, raps would just come to my head.
I got a call. It was like, yo, you gotta hear this kid.
His name is Shyne. Kid is nice.
Now tell me who on the with us. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Whoa. This is a bad beat. Everybody wanted him.
Somebody called Diddy and started talking crazy. Signing to Bad Boy, I became a millionaire.
Bad Boy was very much like a family for a very long time.
At this point, I'm with Puff all the time. I go to Club New York, we hanging out, and I think we're getting ready to leave.
And then you hear,
Bad boy.
Police are questioning entertainers Sean Puffy Combs and Jennifer Lopez following a shooting at a nightclub.
I had nothing to do with a shooting in this club.
Puff couldn't handle going to jail. Every man for himself.
Puffy got acquitted and he got 10 years.
He was betrayed.
I was absolutely set up to be the fall guy. One of the most difficult parts of it was watching everybody succeed, watching 50. But I put out another album while I was there.
he got bigger.
I spent 10 years in prison, but I was able to move on.
The trajectory of Shyne after that changed.
There's a time to pivot. There's a time to transition. And that's how I got into politics. The politics just came naturally because that made me have a purpose.
That's a beautiful thing when somebody finds their true purpose in life.
This gentleman came with an aura around him, and everybody was drawn to him.
Caught up in this illusion called life.
Belize first. The Belizean people first. This story is unbelievable.
Everybody's journey is different. Mine was 23 years. I sacrificed my career and life and family to be someone with humanity, with integrity, with honor.
Pushing up the God quicker. To my very end.
Everybody that heard me wanted to sign me. I would ride my bicycle up the Brooklyn Bridge, and by the time I got down, raps would just come to my head.
I got a call. They was like, yo, you gotta hear this kid.
His name is Shyne. Kid is nice.
Now tell me who on the with us. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Whoa. This is a bad beat. Everybody wanted him.
Somebody called Diddy and started talking crazy. Signing to Bad Boy, I became a millionaire.
Bad Boy was very much like a family for a very long time.
At this point, I'm with Puff all the time. I go to Club New York, we hanging out, and I think we're getting ready to leave.
And then you hear,
Bad boy.
Police are questioning entertainers Shyne, Puffy Combs, and Jennifer Lopez following a
All right, so I wanted to pause it on J.Lo, being at what looks like the police station, after everything happened. So I wanted to get the exact place where Shyne was from. I figured he was from like the Caribbean, but he is from Belize, Central America. And he is involved in politics. He's married, he's a dad. And I believe his role is equivalent to here in the United States of being like a congressman. But he is now involved in politics. I actually discovered that, like, sometimes some of my favorite celebrities or musical artists or favorite actors from back in the day that maybe they're not as active today, they'll come across my mind and I'll say, I wonder what they're doing. And like a couple years ago, I like looked up Shyne and I was like, oh my gosh, he's in politics, so I was very happy for him that, he got deported after finishing his sentence for the pow-powing at the club, and he got involved in politics. So he's, earning an income. He has a respectable job. He has a wife and a child. So it looks like life is really good for him. But I remember this pow pow incident like it was yesterday. It was in the beginning of J.Lo's singing career. She had already been in quite a few films. Of course, her breakout role, her original job was a fly girl on In Living Color. And back then, J.Lo was thick, eating her mom's Puerto Rican food in the Bronx where she grew up. She was much thicker. But then after that, she started appearing in films. In the early 90s, she was in a film called Money Train with Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes. They played brothers who grew up together. Woody Harrelson was like adopted by Wesley Snipes' family, and he had like a secret gambling addiction. And they actually worked on a train that transported money to the Federal Reserves. And Woody Harrelson decides that he's going to rob it to pay the loan sharks. That movie was good. I was like about 10 when the movie was out and it would come on cable. So I would watch it. I'm the baby of a large family. My siblings are a lot older. I was always around adults. So like I watch Money Train whenever it would come on cable. And, J.Lo and Wesley Snipes, they did have a love scene. And after that, she was in the film Selena. Selena is what made J.Lo a star, and she did an awesome job. I fell in love with the Tejano music. I have the Selena soundtrack, and it's what really set her career off. Then a few years later, she was in a movie with George Clooney called Out of Sight. Out of Sight is kind of what made her like mainstream at this point. Then she was able to land a record deal for her very first album called On the Six. And she says she named it On the Six because it represented her riding the 6 train from her parents' house in the Bronx to Manhattan to attend auditions. And she married her very first husband, Ojani Noa, in the late 90s. He was a waiter, and eventually he opened up a restaurant in Los Angeles. They were only married for a year, but he has come out saying that their marriage was so short-lived because of Diddy. Back then, he was known as Puffy. And in this interview, he's even going to reference him as Puffy. But I do want to wrap up the promotional video for Shyne's new documentary. What is so significant is they're not only showing Jennifer Lopez in the promotional video and obviously the documentary, but Shyne is going to say that he feels like he was set up to take the fall for the pow pow at the club. And there's all sorts of rumors. There is, she hid the pow pow, near the kitty cat, allegedly. I'm just repeating the rumor. And, she and J.Lo, they covered it up to protect, who allegedly was the pow power. And hence Shyne took the fall. I think that it's really messed up. It was, back then I feel like a lot of us did not feel like Shyne did it. It appeared as though, Diddy had the most to lose. So he convinced him somehow to take the fall. That was how it always looked to me. And, a young lady was pow-powed in the face. She still deals with that injury today. And after everything happened with Diddy this year with his arrest, she did request for her case to be reopened. I do not know the status of her case at this moment, if it is reopened. Hopefully they do look back into it. I would imagine if it is true and Shyne took the fall, obviously they did not make him sign an NDA 20 years ago because he's making a documentary and he is speaking his mind about feeling like he was the fall guy. So if that's true and he can talk, it seems like that would be what it would take, for there to be some sort of different outcome in terms of what happened to this young lady. I can't remember if, Diddy ever settled with her, because I do believe that she filed some sort of suit against him in the early 2000s. But I cannot remember the outcome if there was any sort of settlement. So hopefully by the end of this video, I will be able to have looked that up and share that with you all. But let's go ahead and head on over to Jennifer Lopez's very first husband, Ojani Noa's Instagram page, where he's got photos, and we have to look at who's in the photos at these alleged parties. Now, Ojani Noa is saying that Jennifer Lopez allegedly attended the freak-offs. Now, the freak-offs, in my opinion, from what I can remember about reading about the white parties that Diddy would host in the Hamptons, I am convinced that the white parties in the Hamptons were separate from the freak-offs. And these photos that I'm going to show you from Ojani Noa's Instagram page, they are definitely giving the white parties, Labor Day weekend in the Hamptons. And they were attended by all sorts of people, from Martha Stewart to Snoop Dogg. And we're going to see some people, but Ojani Noa is presenting them as if they were the freak-offs. And I just don't agree with that. So let's go ahead. Let me share my screen. Let me make sure you all can see it. Perfect. Ojani Noa, very handsome guy. Very, very handsome. This is his Instagram page. Before I show you the pictures from the what I think is the white parties, I was looking to see if he posted, I think it's in this thread, just so you can see that he is J.Lo's very first husband. Okay, so you see this list, it says the Diddy party guest list. Anybody could have just typed this up, y'all, anybody. It's in alphabetical order. How would Ojani Noa get this list? I do call BS on this, but let me read you his caption. So he typed it, if I click on see original, he typed it both in Spanish and in English. And in English, it reads, I'm not on the list. To those people in media outlets asking if I ever went or participated in that piece of ish Diddy's freak off parties, no and no, never. but my ex-wife, Jennifer Lopez, aka J.Lo, did ask her. Oh, and ask her about the sex tapes, the 734 toys, and the baby oil. Hashtag Diddy list, hashtag Diddy freak off list, hashtag I'm not on the list. And he has this set to where you cannot leave a comment. And it's just, you know, a list typed up with a bunch of names. So am I expecting for Diddy to have like a company logo on a document with celebrities' names that he would invite to a party? No. But how would Ojani Noa get this list? Even if J.Lo happened to have it, why would years ago would she have shared it with him and he would still have it? I don't know. But he points to Jennifer Lopez, and it's all sorts of names for all sorts of singers, actors, even, you know, Martha Stewart is mentioned. So yeah, some of these people we have seen in photos, but let's keep going. So this is J.Lo and Diddy. When they were dating, it was in the late 90s and early 2000s. After the Pow Pow incident at the club, we all know that they soon broke up afterwards. I'm convinced that her team, including her then manager, Benny Medina, convinced her that she needed to break away because that was hurting her image. And she was gaining a lot of popularity at that time. So here's the first photo. There's J.Lo. I'm going from right to left. J.Lo, Diddy, Jay-Z, and Aaliyah. And I believe this gentleman on the other side of Aaliyah is Andre Harrell. And we're going to see, you'll see why in another photo. So obviously this was prior to August 25th, 2001, because that is the day that Aaliyah passed away in a plane crash. And there's so many conspiracy theories surrounding that. If you believe in the entertainment industry and sacrifices, allegedly, I'm just repeating a rumor. So now look at this bigger picture. This definitely gives a white party in the Hamptons and not an alleged freak off. So let's get into it. So on this lower row, I'm just gonna name the names of a few people. We have Matthew Broderick, the actor. He played Ferris Bueller in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, classic 80s movie. My sister Donna loves it. She would watch it, so I would watch it, and that's how I'm familiar. I love that movie too. His wife, Sarah Jessica Parker, we all know her as Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City. And you may have also seen her in the movie with Kevin Bacon, Footloose. My sisters also watched that movie, so I love it as well. Andre Harrell, may he rest in peace. He passed away, it was like May 2020. I don't know if he had the Carnival 19, but it was at that time. Then remember the model, Monica Webb. Is that her name? Who is model? I think it's Claudia Webb. Is it Claudia or Monica? No, it's not Monica. I was trying to ask Siri. I think it is Veronica Webb. Veronica Webb. I was saying Monica Webb, and I'm like Claudia, and I'm like, no, that's Claudia Jordan. Veronica Webb. She would be in the Jodeci music videos, definitely a popular model from the 90s and early 2000s, Veronica Webb. And then in this back row, we have Damon Dash, Aaliyah, Diddy, J.Lo, and I believe that this is giving white party in the Hamptons. So now this was a part of the aesthetics, I believe, a huge bed with all of the pillows. More people are going to enter this space. So Andre Harrell, Aaliyah, Diddy, and J.Lo. And they're very comfortable. I don't think it was anything crazy going on. They're fully clothed, and it's definitely documented. Ojani Noa has these photos, obviously, I guess before, you know, the marriage was over, perhaps Ojani made copies of everything, but he does have these photos. And again, we see Damon Dash. We know that Damon Dash and Aaliyah were dating at this time. This lady between Damon Dash and Andre Harrell, she was definitely a model. She looks very familiar. I cannot think of her name. And this gentleman that this lady with this blonde wig on is holding, he's definitely an actor. He's been in a bunch of films. I cannot think of his name though. But these are the photos that Ojani Noa has posted and saying that he was not on that list. And this is rapper Busta Rhymes. And I don't think this was a freak off, but that is what Ojani Noa is claiming. So now also I'm going to read to you all some excerpts from an interview that Ojani Noa has done recently. So the transcript is available on the radio station WBLS's website. Or you know what? I can just show you all the website also. So we're going to leave his Instagram for a moment. Okay. So you all can see it. And again, this is WBLS. Jennifer Lopez's ex-husband says she was involved in Diddy's freak-offs. And he was talking to a publication called Despierta America. And he says, they're also referencing the Instagram post that I read to you all. I'm not on the list, but she was, ask her. And then in an interview with Univision's Despierta America, he expanded on his Instagram post. And he says he's not accusing anyone. He wants to clear the air. He did not go to any parties, but she did. They were married. Ojani Noa and Lopez were married in 1997, but they divorced within a year. And again, he does partly blame their split on her relationship with Puffy. So how Puffy kind of entered Jennifer Lopez's life was he was co-producing her very first album on the 6th. And it seems like also distance played a role because Ojani Noa was working on opening up a restaurant in California while J.Lo flew between Miami and New York to work on her new album. So then that is pretty much what he cites to be the end of their marriage. And he also felt like she always loved the spotlight and the media attention. Now, what I do think is unfair to her is that because he talks about she was in the film Selena, it really blew up. And that was the beginning of her getting lots of interviews and people would notice them if they were out in public. Well, you know, he married an actress. And I would imagine if he wanted the best for her, then he wouldn't have always thought that she would remain up and coming, but that her career would actually take off, and it did. So it sounds like Ojani Noa, he may not have been able to handle Jennifer Lopez's new stardom, you know, but he definitely does not like Diddy. But let me know what you all think about those photos. Do you think that it was the potential freak off, or do you think that it was just like his white parties in the Hamptons? That's what I think it is. But Ojani Noa is definitely being bold. I don't know if J.Lo's team is going to send him a cease and desist. I don't know if he's going to do more interviews, but this was quite shocking to say the least. Now, in Shyne's documentary, if she is implicated in any sort of way and investigators decide to reopen the Pow Pow incident, that case, I don't know what this could mean for her. When I started this video and I said that she would probably say she hasn't had the best year, it's been reported that she and actor Ben Affleck are getting a divorce. Also, she started a tour this year, but allegedly due to poor ticket sales, she canceled the tour because of course you don't want to take a loss and actually pay to go on tour. And then I don't know if that means that she will still have a residency in Las Vegas because it was being reported that promoters for the Las Vegas residency became nervous once they saw that people were not buying tickets for Jennifer Lopez's tour. And then Diddy gets arrested and slammed with a ton of lawsuits for alleged sex trafficking and more. But what do you all think? Do you think that possibly J.Lo could get in trouble? I have a very bad feeling in my spirit, in my energy. I feel like it's coming. And Shyne's documentary might very well be the nail in the coffin. But I thank you all so much for checking out this video. Please hit the like button on this video, as it is a free way of supporting the channel. And please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit if you have not already done so. For a while now, for several days now, I've been thinking about making another video, about Hollyweird, and people having these sacrifices allegedly. And, there's a singer in particular, well, a couple, there's the rumors about Aaliyah, and then there's someone else, close to them, I would want to talk about, but it's just so creepy. But I still may do it. We'll see. But I hope that you all have a fantastic weekend. You'll definitely hear from me soon, and I will talk to you. Bye.